Hi everyone. Alright, so based on your guys' assessments, most of you had trouble setting goals, or your goals are to improve your grades. So we're going to talk about how to set those goals and how to achieve those goals. I'm going to first start by having you guys watch a brief video.
Are you tired of sitting at home, letting
Yes.
the sound
Alright, so for all of you who said you want to improve your grades, a lot of you just said you want to get better grades. Do you understand the difference between saying I want to get better grades and actually setting a more specific goal? So thinking about that when you guys are going through, I want you to think about the goals you guys set that you want to achieve. So you want to get better grades, you want to get above a 3.0. That's more specific. So then you want to sit there and think about exactly what you're doing. Please don't spray that, I will die. Okay, so who understood the measurable part of this? So I want to get better grades. How are you going to measure that? Cover. How do you measure if you want to get better grades? You want to be able to earn something by the end of this. So you want to get yourself an A, right? You want to get yourself all A's? Because that's the goal we're going for, right? So how do we measure that? Do we measure that by waiting until the very end? Or should we do smaller goals or set things that are more easy to figure out first?
Easier things first.
Easier things first, because if you want to go, I just want an A, or I want to get a 3.0, that's going to be hard to achieve, because you're not going to be able to measure that. So what you want to do is break them down to something more achievable, which he's going to be going into next, and you want to be able to measure it out easier. Okay, so again, when you guys are thinking about the goals you set, you want specifically to aim for that 3.0. Is that something that's important for long-term objectives? No, why?
I feel like yeah, but like it's really not something that'll really benefit you.
So do you want to go to college?
Like I mean, yeah.
So then it'll definitely benefit you in long term, right? You have a 3.0, right? Because it'll help you get into college, right? So if you're setting a goal, let's do something more easier for you to, so you're a fighter, right? So you want to win your next fight. What are some steps you have to take to get there?
You have to train.
So you have to train. So how do you break down your training?
I have to train at least 2 hours a day, every day. I mean, I have to get some rest obviously, and to top it off, I got to do good.
So you have to eat, you have to train, you set yourself 2 hours a day. How many days a week? 6 days a week. So that's way more than I work out, trust me. So you do 2 hours a day, 6 days a week. You have to eat well. So when you say you have to eat well, you get a lot of protein, don't you? Yeah. No? What does he eat? You eat everything. So you just need to gain the weight is what you need to do so you can keep working out through the muscle. So these are achievable goals because you're breaking it down, making it easier. So think of grades the same way. So if you're not doing your homework, you're not eating. Homework would be your eating. And then the test would be your fights. Because your eventual goal is to get the belt, right? And studying is a form of eating also. Studying is also something we could go over as well. Studying is hard. I have trouble studying too. Because I have a problem because I tend to remember things just as I go through auditory. So if someone just says something, I typically remember it. But the problem is if they don't talk about it or I didn't fully understand when they said it, I'll remember it wrong, so I have to study. It's a hard thing to do. It's not something that we could build up easy. So we can work on some of those later, okay? All right, so think about that. So relevant goal. So you have a goal that's relevant to you, something that you're not doing for your parents, you're not doing for other people, you're doing it because you want it. So these are things you want to think about while you're setting your goals. So how many of you actually use your planners? Other than just for estrogen? You said no. So keeping a planner is a hard thing. That actually is a goal in itself, keeping accurate. just more than just writing down when homework is due, things like that. Goal tracking is actually a good thing to put into your planners. You're laughing, but honestly, it is something that will help you when you get out there. I'm talking to Renee, not you. Renee's an instant. We love that. So when you're using your planners, so the way I do this for my son, I have him write out every single thing he needs to put into the planner. So it's homework when it's due, any upcoming tests, and then he also works. So any of the work he's going to be doing, like his schedule, that kind of stuff. Then I make him go through and go, okay, how hard is this test going to be for him? How hard is this next section going to be for him? And then we break it up on hours based on how hard it's going to be for him. So if it's something that he's really good at, like reading or history, he spends a little less time on that just because that's something he currently enjoys and he reads it for fun to do that. Something like math that's harder, he tends to take more time and spend more time in the study. Does that make sense? So you want to focus your stuff based on how hard or how easy it's going to be for you to accomplish. So what I want you guys to do right now is you're going to pull out a piece of paper and I'm going to have you write two different things. You're going to split the paper in half. I want you on one side to write who you currently are, every single thing that you currently are going for you, and then where you want to be. We're going to set it out for eventual, so when you're an adult, when you guys are my age, where do you want to be? So that's what I'd like you to do right now. If any of you needs paper, please let me know. If you need a pencil, let me know. I got you. So I'm going to put some of mine up while you guys are thinking about it. So who am I? I'm a teacher. I'm a dad.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. I am a husband. These were all goals I had when I was young. Who do I still want to be? I want to be a billionaire.
So sad.
I know.
By all other things I can.
Let's see. I want to be a famous author. So is being a billionaire a realistic goal for me?
Mm-hmm.
No. I agree. I'm pretty much I've accepted the fact I'm probably gonna die for it. It's okay. But is being an author something that's realistic for me?
Your son can be.
My son can be. That is, I want to vicariously live through him sometimes, yes. What about being an author? Is that something that is achievable for me?
Yes.
So how would I go about setting that up?
Having a goal.
So I have the goal. So I'd want to break it down. So I'd want to first be able to say, okay, I want to write the first paragraph of the first book. I want to come up with an idea for the book first. So what do I want to write? And then I go from there. Then I go, okay, I need to write the first chapter. Or I develop the characters first. You have to kind of sit there and figure out the steps into becoming that. I've actually already written out most of my book. My next steps now are figuring out and publishing. That's where I'm at with my book. So it is a goal that I've had. It's a goal I've been working on towards the last 5 years. So it is something we could work towards. We'll do it. So while you guys are doing this, I want you to think about where you are right now and where you want to be. Is it your girlfriend you keep texting? No. Who is it? It's the girlfriend. I'm gonna give you guys 2 more to break this down and write this down. Should I also let you guys know that there's a chance the school might actually see this? Because I'm posting it to YouTube. I know 2 of you are done. Need more time. Are you ready to go out? By calling me? Yeah? You ready to go? By calling me? You good? Okay. Let's share some of them. What are you currently at? Who are you currently?
I'm a soccer player.
You're a soccer player? How about you?
I'm a student.
You're a student. What else we got? Someone else. You're a volleyball player? You're a boxer? How about you?
I'm a baseball player.
You're a baseball player? How about you? You're a brother? That's a good one. I like that. How about you?
I'm a son.
That's another good one. Alright guys, so where do you want to be? Let's get some ideas. Let's go through first.
I want to be a pro baseball player.
A pro baseball player?
I'm pro soccer player.
Pro soccer player.
A business owner.
Business owner. I like that one too.
Orange bartender.
You want to be a bartender? What else?
I want to be a real estate agent.
A real estate agent? Okay. How about you?
A nurse.
A nurse? That's pretty cool. A veterinarian? Alright. How about you? Okay. So on the back, I want you guys to flip those over. And I want you to take one of those things that you want to be. And I want you to break down the next 5 years of how you want to get to that goal. So I want you to do realistically breaking it down. Going, okay, 5 years, where do I want to be? So do you think you'll be a pro soccer player in 5 years? Or do you think you'll still be in college in 5 years? So you want to see the steps and figure out the steps of where you'll be in the next 5 years. Okay?
If you go to college for 2 years, to like just get it over with,
If you go to college, what?
for 2 years.
So you can get an associate's degree in 2 years.
A what?
An associate's degree within 2 years. There's associates, which is a 2-year degree. You can do some nursing things in 2 years. And then I think some sports players, you'd be able to start getting drafted after 2 years also.
Yeah.
I think you're required to be at least 2 years before
yeah,
you
you
get
have
drafted,
to
right?
be you have to be in college and playing college.
To be able to
Baseball,
be
yeah.
drafted, right? Yeah.
To be in college in order to be employed. To get drafted.
Boxing, you don't need college for boxing, right? You just need to go back to high school basically.
Yeah.
But you want to do things, especially if it comes down to marketing yourself, you don't want to take advantage of business, right? So think about things like that with your goals, okay?
You know, you used to have to go to college.
Within those 5 years, I just need to go to college for 2 years and get my associate's degree.
For what? What are we going to get associates in? So think about that. What specifically do you want to get associates in? So when you go to college, the one thing I'm going to tell you, go in with a plan. Just don't go to college just to go to college. I did that, and I'm like $200,000 in debt. So you want to go to college with a plan. I did not have any real goals when I went to college. My parents said I had to go to college, so I went to college, and I literally just kept racking up money. That's what happened. So when you go to college, have a clear goal. Don't go in just to go in. So if you want to go to college and get an associate's degree in like business, that's smart. Don't go in just into take classes because it's pretty risk. It's just not
Oh
a
no,
good
I'm doing
choice.
it to be a business.
Oh no, that's what I did.
Oh,
Anytime I saw a class where I'm like, oh, these people are my friends, I like that class, and I used to just go crash and join. That was my bad choice. So when you go in, you want to go in with a plan. You want to know what classes you have to take. You want to make sure you know when you're signing up for your school. You want to make sure you know how to get everything set up. You want to talk to a counselor beforehand, because if you don't, you're going to go in and just spend money willy-nilly, and you're going to be frustrated that you wasted all that time and money. So don't do that. So that's why you want to create goals now. Okay, so I want to be a boxer. I don't necessarily need college, but college can benefit you because it'll help you get your business in. You can do marketing. That's how you learn to market yourself. I mean, you might already be good at that, but knowing the basics behind it, so that way someone doesn't try taking advantage of you is a good thing. You want to get into owning your business. Getting a business degree helps you because it helps you manage your employees. It helps you be able to balance your budgets better. It helps you be able to figure out where to set up shop better. Nursing, you have to go to school for a nurse. You want to be a bartender? There's actually a bartender license you have to get and go through school for. So these are all things you need to be able to do. Soccer player, same thing. You can be a fantastic soccer player, but if you don't know anything about the business side of it, you can be massively taken advantage of and not get as much money as you could have. So think about this while you're setting your goals, okay? And once you know how you want to set your goal, think about how you're going to measure it out. So you know where you want to be in 5 years. How are you going to measure yourself to get there? So set something a little more close. So how do you want to do it by next month? What's the goal you want to achieve by next month to help you get to that goal? So boxing, you want to work out. You want to keep that up. But you also need to keep your grades up. Because, if you don't graduate high school, again, you'll have a lot of issues.
First graduate.
You don't want to first graduate. You have 3 months to graduate, right? 2 months. So your goal is to graduate in 2 months. So you have to maintain your grades for the last 2 months of school, correct?
Yes.
All right. So that's one of the goals you want to get done. It's a measurable thing. So how are you going to get to graduate with your grades? You want to sit there and you want to study. So you want to say, I want to spend so many hours a week studying to make sure I pass my test.
It's cold.
I'm super freezing if you can't tell. The sweat dripping down totally tells you I'm cold right now.
Yeah.
All right, so think about it this way. So your goal is to graduate and to go on to the next grade in the next 2 months, right? So how are you going to get there? Do you think if you don't pass your classes, that's going to help you?
No.
What's going to happen?
You're not able to get to stay in college.
Well, there's that. You'll also have to do summer school. How many of you want to come back during summer?
Taking for seniors, you can.
You want to come back during summer? No? So they don't let you do rainbow graduation here?
Nope.
You're just kind of out?
You're basically, if you fail, you're super seniors.
Okay. So we don't want to do that, right?
The group basically.
So then, let's figure out. So the next 2 months, your goal is to graduate. So let's break it down even more. What's your goal for the next week? So next week's spring break. So you don't have any goals outside of training, right? Training, maybe having a little bit of fun, working out, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Getting your arms stronger.
Getting your arms stronger. How about school? What can we do for academics during spring break? Do you think looking at your books to figure out what's coming up next to have a little idea is a good thing to look at?
Yes, but no.
Yes, but no. I understand the no part of that, but I would strongly recommend during next week. So during next week, I'm going to be looking ahead at all my classes. I have a bunch of classes I have a lot of work for. So during all next week, I'm going to look at all my assignments. I'm going to break down which ones I can get done quickly, which ones are going to take me a long time to get done. And then I'm going to start prioritizing. So if it's something I can get done in a few little couple hours, I'm just going to hammer those out next week. The ones that I need to get done and take long projects for, that kind of stuff, I'm going to go ahead and break it up. So like this assignment is due next week. That's why you see me recording. I'm breaking it up now, so that way I have the time to edit, time to do everything I need to do, time to reflect. That's why we did the assessments yesterday. That's why we did all this. So that's why you want to break it down. If you sit there and you go, okay, I'm going to just rush through the last second, are you going to get a good grade? No. So think about goals like that. So that's measurable for me. That's the end. So is it achievable? Is it something that's smart to achieve? It's something I can achieve. So for you guys, I want you to think about that too. And whatever goals you set up for the next 2 weeks, make sure you can achieve it. So when I was having a really rough time after my brother passed away, my only goal was to wake up, get out of bed, and put on something other than pajamas. Sometimes that's all your goal can be. If you're having a hard time, if you're going through something, sometimes your goals are as simple as waking up and eating. So think about it. Set goals that are achievable for yourself. Think about it, okay? What was the R stand for again? What was it? Reach? No, not R and H. Not respect. What's the R in SMART stand for? Reasonable. There you go. Thank you. We're not talking about reach goals. We're talking about SMART. So reasonable. Are the goals you're setting reasonable? So, looking back, is being a billionaire reasonable? Is being a billionaire reasonable?
Yes.
How's being a billionaire reasonable for me? It's not. I mean, I could hope to win the
You have
lottery.
a pros and cons for being a billionaire too.
What was that?
You have a pros and cons for being a billionaire too.
There is pros and cons to everything. There's pros and cons to being an author. Just ask J.K. Rowling. So, is being an author a reasonable goal?
Yes.
Okay. So time-based. What's my time limit?
Manage your time.
So you guys have a 5-year goal. So what are your times? So I would start now picking goals for the next 2 weeks. That's how you make it time-based. You set yourself some goals and you just make sure you do it, okay? All right, any questions about how to set goals?
No, sir.
Do you guys feel like you do understand how to set a goal?
Yes, sir.
All right, so what I want you guys to do is finish hammering up how you're gonna set your goals. We're gonna finish it out that way, okay?
Sir.
What's rainbow?